Hey guys, Carl from Purple Moose Place. Today I'm going to be taking a look at the card-based tile-laying tableau builder Spook Manor from publisher Final Frontier Games and designers David Bruglia and Drake Villareal, in which you find yourself as a sort of group of monsters in an old worn-down haunted manor that isn't quite so scary anymore, and you start laying down rooms in order to restore this manor to its former glory of scariness, to scare off all the kids and ultimately score points and win the game. Disclaimer, I was given a review copy of this game, but as always, I will do my best to offer my own honest opinions on the game. With that said, let's head down to the table to see how the solo mode plays, and then I'll meet you back up here to let you know what I think. To set up a solo game of Spook Manor, begin by taking the lobby cards, giving them a shuffle, and selecting 2 of them at random. You'll then flip one of them over to complete the lobby of your manor. And this lobby is going to tell you a few things. It's going to give you some icons to start with, and it's going to give you some endgame scoring explanation. I'll explain all of that as soon as we get into gameplay. Next, you should also take one of these sort of set collection scoring explanation cards. We're going to use this to track as we place out the different kinds of lighting in our manor as well. Now, the game does suggest at the end of the game we're going to use what they call the creeples in this game to mark off which ones we have and therefore score, but the creeples are a little bit big for this card, so I'm actually going to use some cubes. Those cubes come from Monsters on Board. That's a sort of sister game to this game. But I just want to let you know that those components don't come with this game. I'm just going to set this over here. If we have to move it around, we will later. Now for this solo game, there's sort of the regular mode and what's called the big manor mode, and they're going to play exactly the same way, with the only difference being how big your manor is going to be and sort of how big the point scores are going to be. And so that I can show you more of the gameplay for this playthrough, I will be playing with the big manor setup, which means to continue our setup or to finish our setup, we're going to be dealing out 2 stacks of 30 room cards. And the room cards look something like this. And when we get into gameplay explanation, I'll explain what they do. But we're going to make 2 stacks of 30 of these set off to the side. And then from each of those stacks, we will turn over the top 2 cards. All right, so here you'll see I've got 2 stacks of 30 cards. If we were playing the normal game, they'd be 20. But because I'm playing the big manor, there are 30 each. And then from the top of each of these 2 stacks, I've placed out 2 cards. I move this one down just a little bit to get it out of the way. And then to finish setup off to the side of the screen, there are these monster meeples, or creeples as they're called. I'm just going to keep them off screen to keep them out of the way, but that's all that's left for setup. A solo game with the big manor mode of Spook Manor will be playing out over a series of 30 turns. And on each turn, we're going to draft one of these 4 available cards. And the card that we choose is going to sort of determine the column that we're selecting from. And whichever card we didn't choose from that same column will be discarded. So we're going to be placing 30 cards into our manor, and it'll be 15 from each of these stacks because we'll be taking one and discarding one every time we draft cards on our turn. And when a card is drafted, it's added to your manor. And the way that it's done is it can always be added at the ground floor level, or it can be placed above a room that's already been placed. And there's going to be a variety of different ways we are scoring, and of course the sort of purpose of this game is to score as many points as possible as we are building. The first couple of ways that we're going to score are printed directly on our lobby cards themselves. And the first one is, if we look at the main lobby here, this is going to be scoring points based on tall columns in our manor, because manors are certainly spookier when they have taller spires attached to them. So for the first column that we build 6 or more rooms high, we'll score 3 points. If we do 2 columns that are 6 or more rooms high, we'll score 7 points. And if we do 3 columns that are 6 or more high, we'll score 13 points. In addition, our other lobby here is going to be scoring us negative points. And you'll see when I get into gameplay in a minute that we're going to be placing out creeples from some of the rooms that we place. And those will always be placed into a lobby. And then if there's a room that can hold them, they'll move into the room. But otherwise, they stay in this lobby. And at the end of the game, we will score negative points based on how many creeples are left in the lobby. So if there's just 1, -1. If there are 2, it's -4. If there's 3, -9. And 4 will give me -16. So those are our sort of 2 overall kind of scorings. In addition, we've got the set collection that I showed you earlier. And the way this is going to work is it's going to score based on columns and rows, based on how many of each set you've gotten. If you've got nothing in the column, it's 0 points. Sorry, if you've got one thing in the column, it's 0 points. If you've got 2 in a column or row, you'll score 2 points. 3 will be 5 points, and all 4 will get you 9 points. And so we're trying to match colors or all of the same lantern type in all 4 colors. And you'll see as we play, those will pop up on rooms. For example, our starting lobby already has this purple torch. So if we want to start aiming for more torches and more purples, that's probably a good thing. Now, what do rooms look like? There are a variety of different rooms. And right now I only see 2 of them. So let me pull some more from the box to show you. So there are 4 main room types. These rooms here are lantern rooms, and they're always going to have some kind of lantern here, and that's going to score on that set collection that I just showed you. Also here you'll see some of the rooms are going to have this little envelope looking icon. Any room that has that envelope is going to spawn a creeple of that color in the lobby. Also, you'll see in the top left corner here is a little house with a number in it. That symbol means points, so some of the rooms will be worth points on their own as well. So those are lantern rooms. Next we have entertainment rooms, and these are the rooms that I mentioned before that the meeples can be moved to. Some of them with white circles like this can hold any meeple, or creeple, sorry. But some of them are going to require specific ones, and they might be colors, or they might say equal or not equal to, and then they have to match or not match accordingly. But you also see that all of these are going to have some kind of scoring condition based on what's being placed here. So in this case, any creeple placed on a spot here is worth 1 point. But if I place an orange creeple on one of these spots, or any of these spots, each orange creeple on these spots will be worth 3 points instead. These rooms here are going to be generating creeples for the most part. So here you would see 2 purple creeples would be placed in the lobby and then moved into the entertainment rooms if possible. And finally, this last type of room are the rooms that are going to be scoring based on adjacency with other things. So this type of room, well, first you'll see here is worth 1 point on its own. And then this is going to be scoring 1 point for each red creeple or other scoring room like this that is directly adjacent to this card. And I'll explain more about those scoring conditions as they come out, because this red creeple means if there are actual creeples on a card next to this, it will score, but also if there's a printed picture of a creeple, like we have here in our lobby, that would also score based on this card. So again, we're going to be drafting 30 times, taking a card, discarding the second card, placing it into our manor, looking to maximize the scoring potential of the cards that come out as we play. So let's go ahead and get into gameplay and we'll see how that plays out. So I know I've got a purple torch and I know that I've got a red creeple here. So I need to focus on getting more things that score off red creeples and things that score off of, or that combo off of purples and torches. So looking at my first 4 cards, none of them really do that. This one gets me 2 orange creeple icons and 3 points. This one scores off of purple creeples that are adjacent. This scores off green creeples that are adjacent. And this one gets a green creeple point-wise, but would also summon an orange creeple. And right now, none of that is too amazing, really. So I'm just going to take something and grow up in the hopes that it does something good for me. So I will take this card, placing it here, because I've got a green creeple icon here and a red one here. So if I got to score a card that possibly scores off red and green, I could always stick it there and get lucky. We'll see. I don't think it's going to be that easy, but we'll see what happens. It means this card gets discarded. And because of this envelope, I'm going to place 1 orange creeple into my lobby. Now remember, I want to get that out of there before the end of the game so I don't lose any points for that. All right, then we flip over 2 more. Lots of summoning, but nothing that's scoring yet. All right, that gets me a red and scores green. Trigger an orange and a green. I can score on purples. Well, we could hope that something scores off orange and start filling in orange and getting lots of points for it. So let's just go up. That's worth 3 points anyway. Building towards 6 cards up is a good idea. So we'll do that and see what happens. Hold on. All right, then we discard that card and we turn over 2 more. All right, so here's our first lantern card. We got a red candelabra and a red summon. Now this one is scoring off of green creeples and those kind of creeple rooms. These are both those rooms. I could place this here to score off green and creepy. Yeah, let's do that. This one gets placed here. And that gets discarded. And if we need to zoom out or move things around, I will do that as needed. All right. Wow, I got lots of spawning stuff that I don't want to spawn because, yeah. Although I've got orange coming. I've got scoring off of green. Let's pray for those kinds of things. We'll go up here and hope we get something that holds oranges and greens. All right. Green candelabra. Oh, here we go. Green and a red will score here for me. Let's do that. Because that's got a green creeple and it's that symbol. So it's going to score 2 points for that one. This goes away. They flip over. Oh, okay. Here's a green and red placement. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. Hold on, I should have spawned a green and an orange there. Green and red is good. I'm going to play green and red, not yet. I'm going to play red here because that means that I get 2 reds. This goes away. I'll flip these 2 over. I can play this one right here, which lets me place a green and place a red there. That'll score me 9 points. Green's adjacent to that, which is very nice. This goes away. If I can something that scores on red here, I'd be happy. Scoring on purple. I do need to think about some more lanterns. Hold on. I do have the purple torch. I want to mark that one off. All right. Then I might as well start collecting lanterns if I'm not doing anything else. And I see 2 greens. So I'm going to take a green. Big lantern. And I'll mark that as owned. That goes away. Those come out. Ooh, there's an orange torch. There's an orange torch, but 2 more greens too. All right, I'm going up some more. I will take that green up here. That goes away. I'll mark off that green small lantern. Those come out. All right, that one's scoring on purple and orange, which would be cool if I could get it up here. I don't know that I can, but let's focus on, I'll take that orange torch. Yeah, whatever. I'm gonna take the orange torch and go up here. There's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's my first 6 column, which is great. That goes away. 1, 2. All right, well, we do have to start placing stuff out, and I don't have greens. This is 4 non-equal scores, 1, then 4, then 9, then 15. I am going to take that, and we'll play down here. And that'll hold an orange and a red, but now we need 2 other colors to go there. All right. This one scores on orange and purple. But I want to get that there, right? This one scores on orange. This one scores on, okay, this is good. This one scores on orange and entertainment. No, red and entertainment. Let's put that over here. That goes away. Two more. There's an orange with a green guy. Orange with a red guy. All right. I want to place, yes. All right, we're going to place orange with green summon right there. That goes away. Now let me explain why I did that. Green comes out, and green can be a third color in that 4-color room. Now this is orange, these are orange. I can place this one that scores on orange like that. This one goes away. I also forgot to mark the orange torch, so let me do that now. And these come out. Ooh, that's very nice. Because double purple goes here, and this one scores off purple and orange, so that's really nice. This goes away. And I can play this green and purple. We might as well go up. Place that here, which summons one purple creeple. And that can be my 4th random color down there. Cool. Then this scores on creeple rooms and those scoring rooms. Oh, that works fine. I'll put that right there. This goes away. Entertainment and creeple scoring, or orange big and an orange guy. I like that. Yeah, let's do this. Orange goes there, because that scores off orange adjacent, and that gets me my orange big lantern. And that goes away like that. 1, 2. I don't have anything left that scores off adjacency to, I do. Okay, so I'm gonna put an entertainment room down here. Now if they were both red, that would be amazing, but I think we're gonna end up with orange, but let's see what happens. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, then this one goes here. It doesn't do much except it brings me an orange, and 2 orange go there because they're equal. So that is helpful. This one goes away. We turn over 2 more. Ooh, there's a fat red one. And it's not equal. This one scores off purple and monster rooms. That's next to a double purple monster room. That's nice. That goes away. 2 orange is a lot anyway. Scores off orange and scoring rooms. This scores a red, small red lantern and brings another red creeple. Yeah, which one do I prefer, big or small? Big is what I'm working on. Let's take that and go high. That gets me my second 6 and a red creeple. And gets me the red big lantern. That goes away. Next one. Ooh, 3 of anything but greens are helpful. You got to score off an orange and scoring rooms, which could be nice there. More red stuff. This can hold anything but green is best. This scores off greens and lanterns. Ooh, yes, because those are both greens and lanterns. I like it. That goes away. 1 and 2. Orange and purple. I don't have any more placement stuff, so I don't want to place if I can help it. This scores off reds and oranges, which are here, or here, or here. Doesn't really matter. We might as well aim high. So, yeah, Doesn't really matter. This adding gets me an extra 2 points, 4 points. That gets me 1, 2, plus its own 3, and it could score more later. Yeah, sure. I'll take that and put it here, like that. All right. Oh, okay. This is one we haven't talked about yet. This room will score any empty space next to it. That's a purple and a red. Gets me 9. Yeah, I was gonna take that one, but I think I have to take this one now. Because I'm gonna score off purples here. And that's gonna be 9, whereas this would score 9 maximum. Ooh, that's even better. Okay. Now we take the fat purple. There's my third 6. A fat purple is exactly what I'd like to have. And it spawns a purple. This purple and red now go up there like that. This goes away. 1, 2. Not equal. I want that one here. Perfect. This goes there. Gets a purple and an orange, and that goes away. 2 more rooms come out. Then we place this one here, which is not equals. Purple and orange get stuck there. That goes away. 2 greens I don't need. 1 purple is going to hurt me, possibly, but it gets me another lantern too, so we'll take that. Nothing is scoring. Ah, yes, this one's scoring for adjacency to lanterns. I put that there. Get a purple creeple, and we get the purple candelabra. That goes away. Orange and green candelabra with another meeple. Orange and green right now is not scoring me anything. Orange scores if I go there, but that's just 1 point. Plus 3 is 4 points. 4 points. Or if I take the green, I lose 3 more points. I don't want to do that. Because I lose 3, but then I gain 2 becomes 5. So that's 3 and 3, that's a wash. No, yeah. And then I gain 2. So I get plus 2 there, or plus, yeah, that's the one I need. That goes right there. And that is the end of the game. So now we go into scoring. This game is nice. It comes with its own score pad, whiteboard scoring. So let's go ahead and use that to score. First, we start with the number of points in the corner of all of the rooms. So we start 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, so another 3, 0, 1, 3, 1, so that's 3, 4, 5 for that row. 0, 1, 2, 3, 3, so 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 for that row. That's a nice one. Here is 0, 1, 2, 3. That's 1, 1, 1 is 3. 0, another one is 4, and 3 is 7. Let's double check that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yes. And the bottom row, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1. So that's another 2. So for the rooms themselves, we score 27 points. Next, we need to look at our entertainment rooms. Coming here, we've got 2 full for 9. Nothing here. Nothing here. Here we've got all 4 difference for 15. Nothing else. Here I've got 2 both placed for 9. Nothing here. Here 2 placed for 8. And then finally 2 placed for 6 for a total of 47 points. Next, looking at all of the cards that score for adjacency. Nothing, nothing, nothing here. Scoring for green and the dark rooms. 1 green, 2 green, 3 green, 1 dark, 2 dark. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next here is scoring for adjacency to green and lamps. So we've got 1, 2 green, and 1, 2, 3 lamps is 5. No, 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 no. Here, scoring for purple and orange adjacent. Means orange, 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 orange. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 purple. 5, 6. Nothing else there. Here, scoring for purple and dark rooms adjacent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 4 purples and 1 dark room. Here is 2 per dark room or scoring room next to it, which is here, here, and here. 2 darks and 1 scoring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus here, scoring off red and entertainment. There's 1 red and 2 entertainment. That's 3. And this last one scores off orange or scoring. There's just 3 orange for 3. Gives us a total of 33 points for those rooms. Next, we look at our lanterns, starting with rows. Let's slide that over a little so it's easier to see. Starting with the rows, we've got 3 in this row is 5. 2 in this row is 2. 1 here, nothing. 2 in this row is 2. Then vertically, nothing. All 4 is 9. And 2 is 2. And 1 is nothing. Gives me 20 points. Now looking at our lobby, I've got 4 columns that got to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Means I maxed that out at 13. And we have 1 creeple left in the lobby for -1. Leaves me with a score of 12. Adding them all together, 27 plus 47 plus 33 plus 20 plus 12 gives me a final score of 139 points. Now there is no AI for this solo mode. It is a beat your own score solo mode, but the rules do come with a sort of score chart on the back of the rules. Playing the Big Manor game with a score of 139 gives us the sort of 1, 2, 3, 4th level win with a spooky on the Hauntometer. With that done, let's talk about components. I like to take a look at the components when I'm down here at the table. First things first, I am a fan of chunky wooden bits. I'll say it every time, and I'll continue saying it every time. These creeples are incredibly cute, and I really, really like them. The colors are very, very poppy. The orange and the red is going to be a little bit of an issue, especially on the cards. I'll show you that in a minute when we're looking at cards too, but sometimes it's a little bit hard to tell the difference between orange and red. I kind of wish they'd done yellow and red or blue and red or something else. I know that there's some colorblind issues with some other colors, but they could have made that orange a little bit lighter, like a yellowy orange, rather than so dark that it matches the red so much. The cubes don't come with this game, so I can't comment on them. They did come from another Final Frontier game, so yay, but this game really would have done nicely with a bunch of cubes, because you'll see on this card they do tell you to use these creeples to block off those spots, but you can see that they extend quite a bit over the edge in one direction. Vertically or horizontally, if you turn them this way, they fit, but this way they're just a little bit too fat and they don't quite fit into that card. So they could have made the card a little bigger, but it does match the room cards, and I'd rather they didn't get bigger. So it would have been nice to have cubes or something in the box to go along with them. Otherwise, this tracker card is very nicely designed and does help you keep track of which lamps you've unlocked. The card quality itself is a nice linen finish card, good sturdy cards, nice and easy to shuffle. While we're here, let's take a little bit more look at the artwork. This is, like all Final Frontier games, more artwork from Dimicho, who I happen to be a huge fan of, so that gets lots of thumbs up from me. I do really especially like his work with Final Frontier, so that's an extra double thumbs up from me. But let's just take a look at some of the artwork here. It's just playful, it's fun, lots of different kinds of monsters and creepy things. This sort of butler guy is in lots of the rooms. You know, the rooms just look nice. I love the characters. I know Dimitro's got a kids book series overseas, unfortunately not in English yet. And these characters remind me a bit of those characters, but I really, really love the look of the different rooms, of the different characters, and so on in this game. Next, this whiteboard, completely unnecessary, but incredibly helpful and really cool to have in the box, so I appreciate that. Yay. Finally, I guess it's not really components, but while we're talking about components, the rulebook. The rulebook is incredibly short, and while it does explain how to play the game, it really is lacking in some detail as far as edge cases and explanation of specific cards and specific things that happen. So I really wish they had taken the time to sort of pad it out a little bit more with some explanation and some examples. But it is what it is, and it's nice that it's short, I guess. But yeah, the rules could use a little bit of work in this game. Finally, looking at inserts. This game has no insert, but there's not a whole lot of stuff in there. Now, I should show you while we're talking about components, because this is a pretty big plus. You saw the 60 cards that we played with right now. I still have that many cards left, which looks like it could be 2 more sets of 60. There's a ton of cards in this game, which is great because it adds to a ton of variability, and every time you play, the mix of rooms that comes out is going to be hugely different. And I will talk about that in my final thoughts, but I just wanted to point out that those cards and this handful of creeples, I mean, there's a couple more creeples, but I don't need to put them all in there. Plus that rules that I just showed you, this whiteboard and this whiteboard marker is all that comes in the box. Do I need an insert? Not really, because it's easy to baggy it and put it in there, but there is a ton of empty space in this box. Now, that could mean, cross our fingers, that we might get an expansion for this game, which would be really, really cool. But otherwise, the box could have been shrunk down a little bit to make it even more portable and easily carried around. But that's a minor nitpick here and there. Otherwise, I'm very happy with the components. I wish they had thrown in some cubes, like I said. The box could be a little smaller. The rules didn't need a little bit of work, but component quality-wise, I'm very happy with the components from this game. So meet me back up top, and I'll let you know what I think about the game itself. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the playthrough. Recently, I've been getting really into Final Frontier as a publisher, and it's getting to the point where they can almost do no wrong. I'm loving a lot of their games. I just recently got this one right here, Monsters on Board, which is sort of like the big sister to Spook Manor, and I'm, spoiler alert, digging that one quite a bit as well. But I was really excited to be able to try this because I don't have many of these smaller boxes games that they've put out, and I am interested in trying out more of them because, as I said, I've really been enjoying many of the games that they've published, especially seeing on this box Drake Villareal's name, because he's been sort of coming up in the solo world as a very cool solo designer, at least in my opinion. I've seen his work, his solo modes on things like Monsters on Board, Merchant's Cove. I believe he worked partially on the Endless Winter solo mode and some other games as well. So seeing his name on a game from a publisher that I like and that can be played solo made me very happy. Now, it should be said here before we get into how I feel about the game itself, this is a beat your own score, sort of beat a score threshold kind of solo game, which was a little bit unexpected seeing Drake Villareal's name because a lot of his solo modes that I've seen in other places are very much AI-based, beat a competitive AI kind of solo modes. Now, does that matter in a game like this? Not really. I think this is a well-designed solo experience in this box, and it didn't really need the complexity of an AI. But I just wanted to point that out there because seeing his name does often feel like, oh, there's a cool solo AI, and there is no AI in this game. It's simply you playing one-handed game and seeing how well you can score. Now, with that said, I do really like this game quite a bit. Now, there are some small concerns about pieces that are not included in the game and the rules. I talked a little bit about in the components overview if you want to jump back a few minutes and listen. The rules are not the greatest here. They could have put little cubes on here in the box for tracking the lamps in the game, but the mechanisms here are a whole lot of fun. I've said this in a lot of other videos that I've done before, and I'll say it again in this video. I tend to really be a big fan of these sort of spatial puzzle games where it's your job to either rearrange things or place things in such a way that they score off of other things. And this is another one of those kinds of games. And now when I say there's no AI in this game and it doesn't matter to me, that's why. Because the whole point of a game like this is sort of taking that input randomness that you're given, that sort of random selection of cards that come out to draft, and figuring out the best way to put them together to score the most points from this sort of interconnected nature of those cards and how your tableau is built out. And I like that. There's a lot of stuff going on in this game that's interesting to me, right? You're scoring based on the heights of columns for some of them, up to 3 columns, 6 or more rooms up. So you do want to aim for verticality whenever possible. But you're also aiming for connections to things. So sometimes it's important for me to build sideways to connect to more things, but I always want to keep in the back of my head that I should be going up to score those vertical points. Now, there's quite a bit of push or luck in this game to some extent because there's a ton of cards in this game, and each time I play the solo game, I'm playing either 40 or 60 of those huge stack of cards, which means I never know not just what order the cards are going to come out, but what cards in general are going to come out, right? If I get cards that score for adjacency to thing, and that thing that scores for adjacency never comes out, then that card that scores is kind of useless. All right? If I get cards that require certain colors of creeples to be placed on them, and those creeples never come out, it's kind of useless. If I plan ahead and start generating lots of creeples in my lobby to hopefully fill out those spaces later, and then those spaces never show up, then I get hit with lots of negative points because I planned poorly. And all of this could be negative if you're worried, if you're bothered by a little bit of randomness or even quite a bit of randomness in a game. But for me, that's a sort of on my feet, on the fly, tactical decision, spatial puzzle that I really enjoy. Which of the 4 options that I'm given does the best for me now? How long am I willing to wait on a card to see what else comes up, to see how it connects and how it plays off of that other card? Which cards am I okay with losing by taking the other card? And all of these decisions all put together, and then also the locational-based placement of the cards, it all sort of ties together in a really nice way that does give me just the right amount of crunch in a spatial puzzle kind of game that I like, without making me do any kind of higher level crazy math in my head while I'm playing the game. There's a lot of things to focus on, right? There's the different colored lamps. There's the different shapes of lamps. There's the creeples that are printed on the board. There are creeples that I place out in rooms that match or don't match those creeples. There are rooms that score on adjacency to things. There's the verticality of things. So all of these things tied together, there's lots of things to constantly be thinking about and changing your focus and readdressing your focus to match and meet as many of these things as possible, given only a 4-card option at any given moment, thinking forward and also not thinking too far forward to avoid ruining your plans by overthinking or over planning and then getting hit by things because you chose poorly, right? All of this together makes for a really fun game. It's really easy to set up, shuffle some cards, put them on the table. It plays really quickly. It cleans up very quickly. It's the exact kind of game that I've got that I can just pull down off a shelf when I've got a 20, 30 minutes time, throw it out on a table, play through, have a good sort of churning puzzle in my brain, see how I did compared to other times I played. Now, does it matter? No, because again, with that many cards and this many in a game, your scores are going to be fairly swingy, but it's a lot of fun, and it's definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of this kind of tableau building spatial puzzler game. It's a cheap game, it's a small game, it's a quick game. It's definitely worth your time if you're interested. Have a look. If you enjoyed this video, which I hope you did, please remember to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon below, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks.